Hello everybody, my name is Chris Bizkit, and this is Brucey Wayne, and we're going to be covering the most recent releases of the previews magazines that came out about a week ago, but we're going to be looking at some of our favorite books, spec books, books that are coming out that we're just really interested in checking out, and we'll be letting you know what is going to be coming out in May. These are the solicits for May, what we hope to see and what we hope to catch and what we hope to read. But first, a little bit about us. Brucey Wayne, you're a Batman fan.
Sure am.
And what else? So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm kind of an evil speculator, capitalist too. I really enjoy collecting the comics, as an investment and whatnot, and that's kind of what my pride is towards. I also love reading them as well. So big comic fan, just like Mr. Biscuit here, and we hope you enjoy our video.
Yeah.
And yourself?
Yeah, I'm a big Marvel fan. I don't like to choose sides. I like a little bit of everything, but Marvel is where my heart's at. I'm also, I'm not afraid to speculate and buy a few books that I think that have a good chance of going up in the future. But I'm a big reader. I love my comics. I'm a big Daredevil fan. I'm really excited with Chip Zdarsky's run right now. I love Charles Soule's run, but I mean, I won't go on about that too much. But
here all day.
We could I could go on about that. But we're going to talk about things that are coming up.
Yep.
So one of the books that's coming up that I'm looking forward to with the new War of the Realms miniseries or ongoing, not ongoing, but series that's going to be coming up. One of the titles there is the New Agents of Atlas.
Oh, nice.
Which is going to be Amadeus Cho's new team.
Wicked.
With a couple of first appearances, I believe.
Oh.
I think
Spec book.
Spec book, possibly. I think there's 3 new characters. I'm trying to think of their name. Crescent, Luna Snow, and a character called Lo, I believe.
Okay.
So that's as much information as I have is their names, but it's going to be part of the War of the Realms series, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and stay tuned for the end portion of the show because we're going to talk about spec books.
Yes, we will talk about a few more spec books, so stay tuned. Don't skip to the end.
They won't want to.
No,
just too exciting.
So what else? One of the covers. This is I'm going to buy this specifically for the cover. I have not been buying Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Right.
But Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, well, should we save that for the end?
We might have to.
Let's do that. Let's give him a little tease, but Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, one of the issues, which issue is it? We'll talk about that in a little bit. I mentioned Daredevil already. Chip Zdarsky's run, man, it's only on number 2 right now. The solicit is for numbers 5 and 6 that are coming out in May. The covers have been amazing that Julian Totino Tedesco has been doing. They're just spectacular. I love them. I look forward to seeing what he does next. But
he's done some amazing covers for DC, hasn't he, Tedesco? Yeah.
Yes,
awesome.
He's done lots of work. He's just incredible.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about the series. Chip Zdarsky is one of my favorites. He's Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
He's done so much work lately, and he did that run on Spectacular Spider-Man. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just super. When I heard that he was going to be doing Daredevil, I was really excited about that.
I can vouch for that.
Okay, well, I don't know if I consider Major X a spec book. Listen, it's Rob Liefeld, Whilce Portacio, revisiting the '90s. Bringing it back. Can he capture lightning in a bottle again? This is Deadpool. This is Cable Guy. Like, can Rob Liefeld do it again?
It'll be tough.
I think it'll be tough. We don't know who Major X is. Major X might be somebody we've already seen. Mm-hmm. But if it's a new character, who knows where the future of Major X goes? But that's coming out very soon. The solicit, it's April 3rd release for number 1. So that'll be coming out in April, and in May, I believe it's going to be issues number 3 by then. But since this is our first episode, we'll talk about, we're going to have to skip around a little bit just to fill in some of the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
Another book I'm really excited about is Dead Man Logan.
Oh, yeah.
So the solicit for May is going to be on issue 7. Right now we're only on issue 4 was the most recent issue. It's Dead Man Logan. Old Man Logan's going to die, and Ed Brisson is writing it, and Mike Henderson's drawing it, and they're both doing an awesome job. I love where this story's going. Mysterio's in there again.
Yeah,
it's like
I
the
heard
big
that.
cycle.
That's awesome. Perfect timing for that.
It's yeah. Plus the tie-in with he'll be appearing in the new movie soon with Spiderman, Far From Home. But Mysterio's a great character, and Ed is doing a fantastic job with.
Hits it out of the park every time.
I'm really enjoying this series. It's one of my favorites. It's been on Ed did a great job on Old Man Logan.
Sure
that series is done, but now this Dead Man Logan is kicking ass.
Yeah.
Moving over to a little bit of Image for now. One of the comics coming out in May, and it's on the cover, is Excellence, which is it's another magic story, so it's sort of following suit after the Magic Order. It's going to be a different kind of story, but it's still going to be a magic-related title.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So I think there could be some cool stuff coming out of that, and it's definitely worth checking out. And that's from Brandon Thomas and Carrie Randolph and Emilio Lopez. So I think that's a title to look out for.
Absolutely.
Potential spec. I don't know. I mean,
I agree.
We'll see how Magic Order does. I think if that's a TV show, if Excellence can follow suit and be just as good, I think it could be a spec book down the line.
Absolutely.
But I think it's a little early to say, but possibly. So it's a bit of a spoiler. One of the books I'm also looking forward to is Killer Groove #1, which is from Aftershock. And that's about a musician living in the 1970s in LA, and he gets involved in some criminal activities, and I think he's trying to support his own music career, and I think that they get interwoven. But I think it looks like a great cover. I'm interested. I think Aftershock is doing some cool stuff, and that's a book that looks really interesting to me. Not a superhero book by any means, but the criminal, like a noir type of story, something like that. We'll see how it is. I mean, you'll have to read it, but I think it looks really cool.
Absolutely.
And why don't we talk a little bit about Antarctic Press? We were, you and I were having a conversation earlier about Antarctic.
Hitting it out of the park.
Yeah, I mean they've released Punchline and a few other. I think the fact that they release such low print run stuff, it's hard to find some of these books, so it drives the price on that. But in May they are putting out a horror book. I think this is their first venture into horror, but
it's the first one I've seen by them.
Yeah, I think so. So I think horror's making a bit of a comeback. I think everybody's trying to do a little bit of horror again, and that's maybe something we could consider talking about in a future episode.
That'd be a great idea. Yeah,
because horror's there's so much such a great field of potential in there that I think if Aftershock if Antarctic is going to be tackling that, I think this is cool. And the comic is just called Horror Comics. And #1, I mean, how do you go wrong? Yeah. And we'll see how that goes. And the next one, that's a spec book. I got it on my list of them that I'm checking onto. So I'm going to save that one. Another book to consider from Dark Horse is Invisible Kingdom.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's coming out from G. Willow Wilson, who is known for Kamala Khan.
Yes.
The writer of Kamala Khan, the creator of Kamala Khan. And so she's got this new book called Invisible Kingdom. The solicit for May is for #2, but #1 comes out in March.
Definitely get that.
So I mean, yeah, I think that's definitely worth picking up. Kamala Khan has millions of followers. Millions of sales. I have millions of followers, maybe a stretch, but certainly the sales are up there. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel is a very popular with the kids. I think it's a very popular character. Period. And from what I understand, this series is going to be having some, or dealing with some religious issues.
Okay.
I'm not sure how that's going to go,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's definitely worth looking into.
Should be some interesting comments on that one if they go with a religion topic. But
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
I think everything needs to be covered at some point, and why not?
Mm-hmm.
Should we? Well, let's see. A few more books that I'm curious about seeing. This is a graphic novel coming out from Star Trek fame, George Takei.
All right. Yes.
And he will be releasing the book They Called Us Enemy, which deals with his time in the Japanese internment camps.
Wow.
It's I've heard him discuss this in interviews before, and I think to see this in print will be a great medium for it. And I think this will get a lot. I mean, I don't think this is going to be a spec book, but I think it's going to get a lot of coverage when it comes out in May.
Acclaim.
Yes, I think it's going to be a really great book, and that's with Justin Eisinger, Steve Scott, and Harmony Becker are working on that book, and I think it's going to be they're definitely worth a read. It's going to be, I think it's a very important book, and I'm excited to read it.
Okay.
Another book that's coming out, and this isn't, it's not a comic. It's not a graphic novel. It's Larry Hama Conversations. So that's a book. If you're a G.I. Joe fan, I mean, I don't know what the conversations are going to be, but I think if you're a G.I. Joe fan, that's a book that you might want to read.
Could be some secrets about
there
G.I.
could be
Joe.
some secrets. There could be some little like Easter eggs, something that little tidbits that people don't know about. And I think for G.I. Joe fans, that's a that's worth looking into for sure.
Interesting read for sure. It would have to be. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about a couple books that are not even in previews yet. Well, our friend Jed McKay has a new book, a new ongoing series for the Black Cat.
You heard it here first, guys.
Well, maybe not. Possibly here first. But yeah, that's going to be coming out. I don't know if there's even a date set yet. But that is going to be an interesting series to read. He did some work on the Spider-Geddon books. He did the Man Without Fear, the bridging mini-series between the most recent Daredevil, the Charles Soule run, and the Chip Zdarsky run. So I think that's he did a great job on that. It was really fun, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does with the Black Cat.
And the covers too coming for that.
Wow. Yeah, I believe there are going to be some J. Scott Campbell covers. So I know there's the cult of J. Scott Campbell. People are going to want to snap that up real quick.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. I mean, I have some DC books here.
Oh yes,
we can't all just do Marvel, Mr. Bizkit, all the time.
Sorry, yes. As I said earlier, I am a Marvel fan.
Yeah,
but yes, you're right. We cannot neglect DC at all.
Yeah, I have 5 books here to mention to talk about here. The previews have been quite vague on the description of the storyline, so I can't really get too involved in that. But based on a lot of the covers, I think they're going to go places. So let's start with Deceased #1. The covers for those look phenomenal, especially the Robin one. Basically this book is the premise is there's a pandemic, a techno virus, and I'm sure you yourself back in the day you probably received a virus from techno. I know I have, but anyway, we won't talk about that. But anyway, yeah. So it's kind of like a apocalyptic zombie kind of idea. It sounds like. So that sounds like a winner, but the covers alone just look phenomenal. So keep an eye on that. Aquaman #48, and that's a Joshua Middleton cover. So that looks phenomenal. If you just the cover alone sounds great.
His work's been awesome.
Absolutely, and it looks like maybe a first app in there. Mother Shark, maybe a full.
Not to be confused with Baby Shark.
Yeah, no, don't be confusing there. So that's something to look at, and then we'll show you some pictures of that too. Batgirl #35, and again this is Middleton again, so he's a busy boy here coming up, and that cover looks like interesting. I wouldn't say it's mind-blowingly going to be hot, but something to consider when you think about that. And that could be a first appearance of a character named Shark. Batman villain. So yeah, think about that one. Batman Damn 3, I mean, we all know about the Batwang and how popular that was. Number 2 kind of dipped, but number 1 is still really hot in the aftermarket. Number 3, we're just really dying to find out what's going on, what's happened. So you know you're going to get a great cover with that, so it's something to look forward there too. And then we have Batman Harley, Harley Quinn number 61, which the cover looks really cool to me. It's actually have Harley Quinn and Catwoman on the cover. A little sexy too, so it's kind of cool, but a lot going on the cover too. Something to think about. Cover A is the one I would get on that one. Cover B, not so great, in my opinion, but yeah, something to think about there. So that concludes my DC list for based on the previews that we've seen.
One of the things I'm actually curious about with the DC stuff is the Year of the Villain stuff. They're doing the variants. There's some cool variants coming out.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about this is that the book's only 25 cents US.
Beautiful.
Like, hey, if you want a good read, I'm sure it's going to be something that you want to pick up for a low price.
You can't lose.
No, and if you can get one of those, there's one of 100, one of 250, one of 500 variants. Mm-hmm. So if you can get one of those, I think they look pretty cool. And I think Art Germ's got one. And Jim Cheung's got one, and Alex Malieve's got one. So I think those are pretty neat.
Wow, yeah.
Perhaps we should move on to some of our spec books.
Oh, goody, my favorite part of the show.
I knew that was your favorite. Yeah, and his number 1 is we'll see.
A winner.
It's a very interesting choice.
It's great. All right, so
let's hear what you got.
Go first. So I have 5 books to talk about. You should get them all. Get them all now.
So to be clear, some of these have already been released. All of them have been released. I have a couple that are coming out, but these are already these have been released.
Yeah, and they're all pretty much value priced right now, except for maybe one, and quite easily to find in your comic book shops, I would assume. So in no particular order, but I'll mention which one I think is number 1 at the end. But in no particular order, we're going to start out with number 5 here. Old Lady Harley, number 5, actually. Yep. And wow, that caught people by
surprise.
Yes, definitely a surprise there. Everyone was going after we all knew about the old man Joker going to be in there, but it turns out there's actually the son of the Joker and Harley Quinn. To a Batman fan like myself, or anyone really, that's a big character. It's a more sadistic version of Joker, it seems.
Which is kind of hard to believe.
That is hard to believe, yeah. And the story here is actually quite good in the book. He's basically telling Harley she was a bad mom and that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but really, another one too. They say there's going to be a sequel. So and that character is supposed to be in it. So as long as they don't kill off the character or something like that. Sky's the limit for this one. So that's a no-brainer. Low print run, they're telling me, and one cover. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, the book's only been out for a week now. I was able to get 2 copies, thanks to you, really.
Great guy.
And like you said, it's the last issue in a miniseries, so yes. I think that's one of the reasons why the print run is lower. Mm-hmm. But definitely run and get that book if you can find it. We still found one today, so you can find it at cover price. We did. But on eBay, we're talking $30.
$30. You see a lot of
so it's worth finding.
Absolutely, find it. Go right now. Number 4.
We'll wait till the end of the video.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Number 3 and 4 actually. It's a Hawk and Dove. They're both Hawk and Dove books, and the first one is the first appearance of the original Hawk and Dove, and that is in Showcase number 75 back in the day.
Steve
Ditko. It's an older book, and it might, $150 for near mint, which near mint of a book that age, wow, that's quite something anyway. But that's still reasonable because it has so much more potential to go up. The Titans show, they're very popular now. In fact, everyone I talk to who watch Titans show, that's their favorite part, that and Doom Patrol. So, definitely go out and grab that if you can. But if you can't find that one at a great price, something you can afford, definitely the next winner, and I think is going to be the most popular character out of all the Hawk and Dove. The actress is, everyone's fallen in love with her. and that is Dove. So that is volume 2 of Hawk and Dove, and that's issue number 1. It's a 5-part miniseries. You can find those. I found one yesterday for $3 at a shop, and I bought one on eBay for 99 cents Canadian. So that's what, 10 cents American? So yeah, go out there and grab Dove. You can't go wrong. I mean, everyone loves her. So that's number 3 and 4. So number 2, there's rumors about this character being in the next Spider-Verse animated movie, the sequel. And that is Edge of Spider-Geddon number 2, and it's the first appearance of Addie Brock, who's supposedly the sister of Eddie Brock, of course, who's Venom, and she created and manipulates the tech mech Venom suit. So apparently this character is going to be in the movie, and it's a great comic book too. There's 2 covers to that, both of which have the Mech Warrior on the cover. Addie's on the first cover A, so I'd probably assume that one will be the hot one going forward. But again, not a huge print run I'm hearing, so that's definitely a book to think about, and that is something you could probably find on the shelves still at your local comic book store. So go out and grab that.
I assume that she'll be tackling with Penny Parker.
I think so. I mean, she is somewhat
would only
of a
make
villain,
sense.
So yeah, so that would you kind of know that's coming. So. But then here comes number 1, and this is the book that I'm actually calling number 1 as well.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree, but Brucey Wayne here cannot stop talking.
It's true
about this comic book.
It's true, and the fans of this character now, because of the movie, is overwhelming. And that is the first appearance of Goose, the cat.
Goose the Flurkin
stole the show.
Did not steal the show. I saw the movie last night. Great movie, and Goose is funny. I got to give credit where credit's due. They do a great job with Goose the cat. Didn't steal the show, but it was still really good.
Well, we're not going to stay a spoiler here too, but he's actually created a legacy because.
Well, let's not get into that.
He does something here that everyone will talk about from time. So yeah,
I've got my own opinions, which I'll reserve at this point.
It's good that he's reserving them, folks. It's just me, but no, and that is a giant size Miss Marvel number 1. That's a 1-shot. And when I did a little bit of research on that, the Comic-Con website that talks about print runs and whatnot, you can take it with a grain of salt, but they say 10,000 copies were only made. And based also on my research on eBay, most of those are not near mint. It's a giant-sized book. The binding generally was messed up when they were sent to everyone. So you can find them in very fine, easier, but near mint is really tough to find. And that book, when I was promoting or recommending it a couple of months ago, was $15. Now it's at $100. So
it's definitely gone up.
It's definitely.
I mean, the movie buzz is certainly helping that.
It has more room to go up too, especially because of the rarity of that book. It's very, very tough to find. So there you have it. Number 1, go get it. Goose the cat.
Goose the cat.
Oh yeah.
Those are your top 5. I've got a couple others. I don't know if they're quite as. This is more spec. This is for books that have yet to come out.
Okay.
So the first one I think you should look into getting is Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 6.
Absolutely.
Which we know there's a new character. Mm-hmm. Not sure how big this character is going to be, but I mean, new Spider-Man characters are hot. So this is the first appearance of Spider-Bite, B-I-T-E. Mm-hmm. Not to be confused with the first appearance of Spider-Bite, B-Y-T-E, who made her first appearance in Edge of Spider-Geddon, or in the Spider-Geddon. I can't remember which issue it was right now, but it was in the Spider-Geddon series. Mm-hmm. So this new Spider-Bite is, we don't know a whole lot.
No,
but
wraps for now.
So who knows? It's definitely worth looking into. It comes out again. It's May. It's number 6, and we'll see what goes on with that one.
It seems like a sidekick for Spider-Man, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. But I think the hottest book that has yet to hit the stands that you should look into is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh wow, yeah.
Number 1, it's a
no-brainer.
It's a regardless of what your politics are, I think this is worth getting into. or getting a copy of, and I won't get into politics.
I might.
Well, it just looks like a fun book. I mean, these political based comics are getting a lot of press. They did, they had the Trump ones and a few in the Barack Obama one. Yeah. So I think this one, whether you love her or hate her, I think it's definitely worth grabbing a copy of.
Spec book for sure.
Spec book. I think, I know it's hot. There's a lot of buzz just around the comic shop. The post I made about it is getting a lot of coverage, sure and it's getting a lot of attention. So I think, like I said, I think it's definitely a book that you need to grab. So Devil's Due, I think it's Devil's Due Comics or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's, I think they've got some financial issues, but
not anymore.
I don't think after this issue they'll have too many problems. It's a book that you need. I think you're going to want to have.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
Yeah, I think those are the ones that are coming out that are definitely worth grabbing.
Yeah. So I guess that leads us to the end, and we're just going to show you some books that we picked up this week. Mr. Bizkit, found an amazing book that he traded for, actually, so that's cool.
Yeah, I gave up a fair bit for it, but I got a copy of Amazing Spider-Man 268. It's right behind us.
Awesome.
And the nice thing about this book, it is missing tattoos, but it's a Canadian price variant. Yeah. So it's a lot harder to find, and it's a book that I'm really happy to have in my collection.
Absolutely, I would be too. I'm actually looking for that one. I don't have the Hobgoblin first appearance, but wow, I'd sure love to have that one. In any case, I have some minor books that I picked up actually today, so I'll show you those. These were kind of have to give Jim Comics some credit here because he's what alerted me on these. So I'll show you the first one here, and this is the Flash. This is the Rebirth. This is #1, and this is the first cameo appearance of Godspeed. And this is the variant copy too. So I'm really happy to find that one. And then I didn't know about this one, but this is DC Universe Rebirth #1 Flash, and this is actually the second cameo appearance of Godspeed, and that's the variant cover too. So wow, I lucked out on variants. These ones I didn't know were hot. They just came out last week.
No, today.
Or today, or Wednesday. Yeah.
Today's Friday.
So
they came out this week.
Yeah, Deadpool #10, and this is the first appearance of the character Goodnight. And basically, this is kind of a spin on Bruce Wayne. Parents die, yada yada yada. I found these still on the shelves. I'm sure you can too. They're already selling for $15 on eBay. But make sure you get this cover. Cover B doesn't seem to be any. Nobody seems to really care for that one much. I picked up this today. Obviously the series is doing phenomenal on the TV, and this is the Umbrella Academy #1. This is volume 3. So you might want to check that out as well. It just came out not too long ago. They're already on #2. And last but not least, this is another going to be in a movie. It's called The Others. There's some characters here. This is Aquaman, the New 52, issue #7, and the others have been confirmed that they're going to be in Aquaman #2 coming out at a later date. So you might want to consider picking those up. These were about $10 each. And about $30 on eBay already. So yeah, can't win. If you can find them at that price, go and get them. All right.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky to get a couple other books this week.
Oh yeah, you got some.
I got another copy of first appearance of Squirrel Girl.
Wow.
And first Tigra, which was a pleasant surprise, and I bought a small collection. Small.
1,800 comics.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't too many keys in there, unfortunately. But I mean, I got some great books in there. But first Tigra I didn't know. I mean, I know of the character, but I didn't know that I managed to get her first appearance. Yeah. And she's going to be in the new cartoon coming out.
Yeah.
So that's something I would actually try to find if you don't already have it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's pretty affordable, but it's a neat book to get.
Absolutely.
I was able to also get a copy of Daredevil,
Wow.
#1. This is the Comics Pro variant. There's only 200 of these. It does have a little ding, but I'm pretty happy to have a copy of this because this is the first appearance of Detective Cole North.
That's right. Yeah.
Who that's a good spec book too. I think
Yeah.
Daredevil #1. If you can get it, copy. You should be able to find that one pretty easily. It's not scorching hot or anything.
No.
But they're basically rumors that Detective Cole North could be Daredevil's Commissioner Gordon in a sense.
Absolutely.
So that's a book that I would. I mean, Chip Zdarsky's awesome. Anyway, I really like what he's been doing. So.
I believe that was on the CBSI list as well.
I believe it was last week.
Yeah, you got a winner there, and the price is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
it's got a ding, but I'm happy. I'm still happy to have it. It's a cool book, great cover.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's about it for me in terms of my pickups this week. Although I also got a page out of True Patriot
right.
#12.
Yeah.
Our friends Tony White and Andrew Clark, local boys, friends of ours, who put out a new book this week, along with the other people at Chapter House. So it's True Patriot #12, available on Comixology for $2.
Yes.
And I was able to purchase one of the original pages for that story from our friend Andrew, and it's a great little story. He's awesome. Tony's awesome, and. Yeah, it's a great little story, and if you can pick it up, you can pick it up if you've got a Comixology account.
Yeah,
grab it. $2 well spent.
Won't be disappointed. Absolutely. Nope.
And yeah, I think that wraps up our first episode of the next issue. So we will hopefully continue this on reviewing and letting you know what's coming out in the previews.
Yeah, we hope to add some weekly content. I mean, the big show will be monthly, but we'll keep you up to date on some spec books and some upcoming things that are coming out. Maybe some comic book news as well.
Yeah.
Biz industry, whatnot, and yeah, that's
you can follow us on Instagram as well.
Please do.
I'm at Bizkit Books, which we'll put a link here.
Yeah, and I'm Brucey Wynn from Gotham Collection, so I have a little thing, a YouTube thing going too. So yeah, please like and subscribe and like our little show. We'll keep coming up, and we'd like to hear from you in your comments.
Absolutely.
What you think, and please let us know on give us some feedback. Let us know on some comics that you think are going to be hot, because we're collectors too. We'd like them too, so we can help each other out.
All the tips that we can give each other is great.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you very
much.
All right.